Hello everyone, this is Hero from the Birds back with another Shadowlands video. And in this video I'd like to take a look at Protection Paladin for 9.2 given the arrival of the new tier set information. And of course, just as a disclaimer, we don't know if these tier sets are going to be remaining in this form or not, but I'd like to kind of do a first pass and take a look at legendary combinations with the tier sets that have been projected. So here is Protection Paladin's 2-piece and 4-piece tier sets that we can look forward to. The first one says casting Shield of the Righteous increases your block chance by 4% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So that's potentially 12% block chance. And the 4 set says blocking an attack has a 33% chance to cast Judgment at your attacker. Now, in general, Holy Paladins are doing probably one of the best behind Brewmaster Monk and probably equal with, I would say, Guardian Druid on single target damage in encounters right now in Shadowlands. So in Mythic rating, Paladins are right behind Brewmaster and probably close to equal with Guardian Druid. And that's partly to do with the way that Mad Paragon and Venthyr has given so much extra damage to the passive kit of a Prot Paladin. This is true. This last tier, I did my progression as a Prot Paladin, and even the healing throughput for them is exceptional with Word of Glory off healing. But just the damage profile of Venthyr was so strong with Mad Paragon and continues to be. And I think given the fact that we are unlocking double legendaries, one tied to our Covenant, another free across the range, that combination for Holy Paladin and for Prot Paladin seems to me to be very, very strong just for damage in general. Radiant Embers, of course, is a little bit trickier to use if you're a tank that has to do mechanics, but nevertheless, it's still just going to be superior if you get a 45-second Ashen Hallow off and you get Mad Paragon to tie together the extra damage built into Hammer of Wrath. So Hammer of Wrath is still a key builder that you're going to use as soon as you possibly can get it in this kit. And how does this interact with the potential of the tier sets? Well, in general, I think it's just more passive damage that's being offered to Paladin across the board for all of the other specs in the game. You're going to get some passive damage with these tier sets, but some of the specs didn't make out as well as others. For example, Brewmaster Monk's 2-piece and 4-piece are kind of bizarre in some regard. They don't seem to be at all helpful. Maybe it's like, I guess it's 4% DR and then the extra shuffle, but compared to what this is offering, it is so insignificant. And maybe they'll change that. I hope they do. But let's walk through what makes this interesting. So first of all, if you look at the way that a Prot Paladin works, you have Mastery that is buffing our chance to block melee attacks. And that, if you go up, so I have 23% extra chance to block melee attacks. You also have access to Holy Shield, though Blessed Hammer is something we've often used because we can build Holy Power as we're moving. But Holy Shield offers you the opportunity to block spells as well. So you get 15% block chance, plus you can block spells. And Holy Shield is already offering you something that's similar to the tier piece. Blocking produces a damage effect on other members. So this alone, this Holy Shield, combined with the amount of time we can spend casting Shield of the Righteous in a given encounter, is going to mean we have substantial block chance. So let me just see if I can... so look right here, yeah, that's what I was going to look for. Currently, with this build, just moving over to Holy Shield from Blessed Hammer, I go from 29% block chance up to 44% block chance. If you add another 12%, that puts us at 56% chance to block. That's crazy. Just as a damage reduction thing, that's that's wild. So if we can maximize holy power generation to keep this up, essentially every 15 seconds we need to hit our Shield of the Righteous, we can produce a great deal of the 4-piece, which is whenever we block, there's a chance to cast Judgment. One thing that's very fascinating about this idea is how much damage Judgment does in our kit. I don't think I have anything on the table for you, but your Judgment tends to be one of the most significant buttons for you to press, not just as a holy power generator, but because after Hammer of Wrath, it does the most damage in our kit. And having something passively casting Judgment based on our block, which is a completely passive interaction in the game, is exceptional. It's going to build holy power, which gives us more access to Shield of the Righteous. It's going to do damage. Amazing. So when I look at the comparison between something like Brewmaster Monk's damage profile based on the tier sets and what this is offering Protection Paladin, it doesn't even seem close, guys. Given that Paladin's going to now have access to both Mad Paragon and our Venthir's Embers, meaning if we want it, we can tool ourselves up for basically a DPS role. Full or close to full uptime on 50% block, if you like. Insane uptime on Judgment casts. And what about an AoE? And what about for spells? Does this mean that there's an internal cooldown on how many times this will proc Judgment? What if it was even like a second and a half? It's still worth it, guys. In single target, in AoE, it's going to do a ton of damage and passively fire out a lot of Judgments. One thing that's also really interesting is Shield of the Righteous is off the global cooldown. So if you pull in Mythic Plus a huge pack, and this thing is just proccing like every other second, you can just be slamming Shield of the Righteous, doing a lot of AoE damage to clear out the holy power generation that you're producing based on these blocks, right? And this synergy is very interesting to me. I think it's setting Holy Paladin up to even surpass Brewmaster on single target fights. I know bosses usually have a slow hitbox, like 3 seconds, but the fact that with Holy Shield we have opportunity to potentially block magical attacks or magic damage too, maybe this becomes really, really strong. So given that Prot Paladins have a lot of other unique tools in their kit for raids, I think you're going to see if something like Warrior ends up being good still, and you don't need a Prot Warrior to bring buffs. If Demon Hunter's okay, and you don't need your Brewmaster to bring your debuff or your Demon Hunter to bring your debuff, I think you'll see a Protection Paladin in the cutting edge race, just because passive damage is king, guys. And this is the epitome of it. You are always casting Shield of the Righteous. It's based on your block chance, not on anything active you do. And it's building holy power to synergize with casting the button that allows you to continue to block at this rate. So really, really strong. On the legendary side, as I mentioned, I don't really see an option past Radiant Embers and Mad Paragon if you're doing cutting edge stuff, because the damage profile is so good. There are other, obviously there are other legendaries that we can use if we needed defensive stuff, but they're basically not worth talking about. The only thing I would say that we might think about beyond Mad Paragon is the Magistrate's Judgment. And the reason for this is if we can complete the cycle by having these free casts of Judgment also produce the Magistrate's Judgment effect, that might mean that we just are casting Shield of the Righteous all the time, because we're getting a block, the block is producing a Judgment, the Judgment cools down or reduces the cost. You can see where this is going. So aside from Mad Paragon within our Venthir window, I think Magistrate's Judgment has some play here with the 2-piece and the 4-piece. In either case, guys, I think Prot Paladin is positioned to go past Brewmaster in single target damage. Its utility, of course, is off the charts anyways. Things like spell warding are strategy defining for how sometimes bosses get pulled. Even Bop is sometimes strategy defining for different raid encounters. But if you can completely negate something to save someone's life, you can see the Lich King, for example, when you do that fight, you can just Bop or Blessing of Spell Warding people in phase 3 and they completely avoid some of the mechanics. That kind of stuff is part of what makes a Prot Paladin a powerful asset. Also, just their general off healing is also pretty good. Lay on hands, that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to seeing Prot Paladin smashing. And given the way the other tier sets have been designed for other classes, this seems to have way too much internal synergy to be ignored. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again next time.